Problem set 5.5 on page 399. Going to try a couple of these problems to kind of make sure you are getting this as far as changing fractions to decimals, decimals to fraction, and then doing a combination of problems as far as page 400 is concerned. So let's just do a few. I'm going to start with 13 and go through 20 and do one from there. Let's look at number 14. Write each fraction as a decimal correct to the hundreds column. Make sure you remember the hundreds column part. So it's 17 over 19. And remember what I said? 17 divided by 19. And I automatically, when I see that my number in here is smaller than my number out here, which will be the case almost all the time, I put a decimal and a few zeros following. And then I just start dividing, and I bring my decimal up. Don't forget to do that. And if it does help, I mean, it helps me a little bit, just get rid of this decimal here so that it doesn't confuse you or make you think you have to keep things in line with the decimals or anything. Just get rid of it and then just do division as if these were just whole numbers. So the 19 goes into the 17, or actually 170, 8 times. 8 times 9 is 72, carry the 7, 8, 8, 15, which gives me 18 then for an answer. Get rid of this because I will need to put another number there eventually. Bring down the 0. 19 goes into 180, 9 times, 1, carry the 8, 17, leaving me with a 9 here. And I can bring down another 0. 19 goes into 90, probably 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36, carry the 3, 4, 7, leaving me with 14. And you could go on and on and on, but the instructions say correct to the hundreds column. And if I do that to the hundreds column, I only need to go one digit further so that I know whether to round this 9 to a 10 or leave it, a 10 or leave it a 0. In this case, my number is less than 5, so that's going to stay a 9, and we erase this now that we find that it stays a 9, because that's all we want is to the hundreds position. So that's what they're looking at for 13 through 20. So let's continue on. Page number 400. And it's asking you to write each decimal as a fraction, write each decimal as a mixed number. For the most part, 23 to 28, we're taking, look at 24, 0.45. We're writing that as a fraction, which we write it without the decimal. And we've got 1, 2 numbers here, so it's over 1, 2 zeros, 45 over 100. Then you're going to go ahead and reduce that the way you've been taught. So that's what they're looking at for those. So let's jump to 35 to 50. Again, what I would suggest doing is changing all of the fractions to decimals and then just multiply your decimals. So, for example, let's look at 46. 7/8 plus 0.45, is that right? Yep. Times 3/4. Alright, so we're going to change 7/8 to a decimal, and that would be 0.875. And again, it's just one of those crazy things math teachers memorize over the years, is some of these fractions as decimals, plus 0.45 times 0.75. So now I'm going to do is multiply, PEMDAS, do your multiplication first, and then we're going to add 0.875 to that answer. So that's how you do those 35 to 50. So I would suggest changing your fractions to decimals and then multiplying through and adding and whatnot, rather than changing your decimals to fractions. Which brings us up to, we did some of these on the last video. In fact, I did 54, but I felt like I needed to go over a few more of these a little bit better for you. So we'll go ahead and stop it there, except I would like you to look real quickly at page number 403. Number 67 is saying find the volume of each sphere, round to the nearest hundredth, which means you're going to have to go back in the assignment to page 397 in order to get the volume of a sphere, which is going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. That being the case, number 67, they give you a radius of 2 miles. So you're going to put a 2 in for this r, and it says in the instructions that pi is going to be 3.14. So 4/3 times 3.14 times, and we're going to take 2 miles and cube it, 2 times 2 times 2, and give us 8. We're going to do the same thing with number 68, only our radius is 3. Same thing with 69 and 70. We're just changing the radius to different numbers. 71 and 72. Notice how in 71 we're going to find the area of the rectangle first, and then the area of the half circle, and then add the two together. 72, we're going to find the area of the rectangle, the area of the triangle on the left, and the area of the half circle on the right. Now remember, area for a circle or half circle is pi r squared. But in 71 and 72, we only have a half of a circle. So whatever we get for here, we're going to take half of it or divide it by 2 to get the area of that half circle. So that's it for 5.5.